if you would like to.
I think I'm better off without it.
Okay, what's up, Syed? It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I think we used to do podcasts before, right?
Yeah, we used to do quite a few of
Yeah,
podcasts.
like we used to talk about every random show and
like all our favorite shows and everything
yeah.
that came up.
Also, just a minute. So, the entire podcast mostly English allirutte. So, ನನ್ನ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಗೆ I'm apologizing before. Sorry.
Yeah, apologizing to his fans again because we're doing it in English. Also, this is just a test. Okay, say the first question that I do have for you is, what is the one question that you wish a lot of people asked you?
I'll tell you what is the one question a lot of people are asking me.
And yeah, okay. Let's start with that.
It is what there are two questions. One is why are your lips so pink? And another one another one is what do you do next? What next? And my lips are pink because of this. I use a certain lip balm. And also I take good care of my lips.
This is not a product.
It is not. This is not a paid collaboration, but
he paid for the collaboration.
Yeah, I paid 200 rupees for it. And
if you want lips like Sneha, I'll leave the link to the lip balm in the description down below.
We can do that. And another question is, I do not have a definite answer right now as to what I'm doing next. So, yeah.
So, now that you mentioned that you don't have a definitive idea of what you're not doing next, what's different from, say, about a year ago to now? Because I remember 1 year ago you had a very definitive idea of where you're going next.
Mm-hmm.
But what's changed in that 1 year?
One thing is, I have more money in the bank, which is a great relief. And I don't have to worry about the petrol money to come here. I mean, a lot of struggling actors can really relate to me when I see this, that going to rehearsals and making the travel is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Because you have to rehearse for like 6-7 months and
then you may get paid at the end of it.
Yeah, or may not. So that is the struggle. And another thing is, I know this might be a little too deep in the initial, when we're starting the podcast off. It's just that the last year has given me some sort of confidence. And uske pehle there were doubts whether I'm in the right path, and I think it was Zakir Khan or someone who said, तुमने एक delusion तो नहीं पाल रखा है, in the name of passion. And that used to always like hit me, and whether I'm doing this for, I don't know. And the last year has given me confidence that this is what you wanted to do, this is what you're doing, and this is what you have to.
In Zakir Khan's terms, delusion तो नहीं है भाई.
Delusion तो नहीं है भाई. अब तो have made sure that it's not a delusion.
I'm in the right field. It's the right thing for me. I've known you for a few years now.
Yeah.
I don't want to count numbers, but I've known you for a few years now, and you've always wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
Almost
a decade.
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
I've known you for a decade, and I've known for a decade that you've wanted to be an actor. I think we've done a video on this before.
Yeah.
We have.
2016, 17.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you then. Why do you want to be an actor? Why are you... Okay, here's the difference. Back then, why do you want to be an actor? Now, why are you an actor?
See, I think this is a very important truth we have to make peace with. Most people who want to be actors do not want to be actors. They want to be stars. They want the fame, they want the glitz, the glamour and everything.
Everything nice that comes with that.
Yeah, they want to be rich and famous.
And I think, I'm sorry I'm cutting off there, but I think that the easiest way to get rich and famous is becoming an actor.
Yeah. So, and I think the initial like germ of me wanting to be an actor started in 2007. High school. I think I was in my like 6th or 7th. Like that's not even high school. And I saw Om Shanti Om. And the film is so ode to films.
Yeah.
And to Bollywood and all that. I just watched that film and I was like, dude, I want to do this, dude. I want to make films. I want to like.
Yeah. I want to say Deepika from a burning fire.
Yeah, and I want to like take my shirt off and dance and like like the other disco.
If you've seen some of the photographs that I've taken of him, most of them are without his shirt on.
Yeah.
We know we can pinpoint it to the disco. Like this is where it started.
That's where the inception of shirtless Nehat happened.
Shirtless Nehat happened. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, you go check his photographs. You go check the photo that I put up of him.
Yeah, that's where it started, and you know what happens? Yeah. You want something, and especially when you're in that age, you can't really tell people because they make fun of it. Like imagine. You've seen me, like you've seen photos of me in that age, right? I was this really lean guy with like a big hair.
Like your hair weighed more than you did.
Yeah, I did. And like for me to tell my friend that I want to be an actor is like unheard of, and like
you will become actor.
like they would have made fun of me for like the next 10 years. So I never told anyone, right? I just kept it within. And then life happened and you go to college and a lot of things happen.
Yeah, okay. I'll ask you a different question here. What was the first point of affirmation for you? Like, what was the first point of saying, okay, I can become an actor? There's a path that is destined for me. Like for everybody, there is one point, one moment that decides like, okay, this is something that I can do for the rest of my life. Because I'm sure from that skinny kid that you were to you sitting here, there must have been one moment that you can pinpoint and say, okay, this is the exact moment I knew. Like looking back, you can say, this is the exact moment I knew that I'll become an actor.
I think that validation I got from theatre. I don't know, I've had the good fortune of working with a lot of big names in theatre, right? And like after the show, when the director used to come and tell me that you did a good job, and like these people have been in the industry for ages, right? Like when Ranjan Ghoshal told me that, dude, you're a hero. Tu hero ban sakta hai. And when Zafar sir told me that when they started giving me lead roles and they trusted me, I don't think they trusted me because I was a very talented actor or I was a good actor. They trusted me because I had a certain work ethic. Alright?
That I agree with. Like a lot of people who know you and me, and a lot of our mutual friends, sometimes they ask me, why do you think Snehat is such a big star now? And I say because he has an undying affection for the art that he has, and also बहुत काम करता है यार. इतना काम मैं करूँगा ना तो मैं भी स्टार बन जाऊँगा. और इतना काम मुझसे नहीं होता है यार.
Bro, I'll tell you why this happened, alright. I realized very early that there is no gift. I've seen a lot of people who are gifted actors, like one of my friend Mahir. He's a very gifted actor. It comes very naturally to him. And to me, it never did. Alright, and I don't think anything came naturally to me. Alright, like I had to like work my beep off. I do not say those words anymore.
Self-censored.
Yeah. And so that's what happened. I realized that. My initial, when I started learning acting, alright, I had this acting coach called Gauri ma'am. She's like, dude, like, you really have to like work super hard or just give up. Like, it's not coming. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Like work day and night and like something will come out. You'll probably become an actor.
You'll probably get a side role,
Yeah.
comic relief in some film.
Yeah,
But main hero तो नहीं बनेगा तू.
yeah, and she told me that I'm not good looking also. She's like you're not even good looking, like you're not a natural actor, like what are you trying to do here? Maybe if you like work really hard for years, maybe something will happen. And I took that seriously. I was like, I do not have the looks to be an actor, I do not have the talent to be an actor.
I think your fans at this point would disagree that you don't have the looks for it. I'm pretty sure a few of your fans in the comments will be going,
Yeah.
क्या बोल रहे बे?
Yeah, and this was in 2016, different. There's a lot of grooming that has happened, there's a lot of other things that have happened.
I've known him long enough to know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't, I might put a few reference photos here.
Yep. I really took that to heart. Like I was probably like really down for 2-3 days. I was like, I don't have the looks to be an actor. I don't have the talent to be an actor. And I was like, nahin yaar, I'm not going to give up on this because I had a very bad experience. So I had given up on basketball, which was my first love, right? And a part of me was like you give up on that. I was like this is my dream now.
I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but there's this really nice anime on basketball on Netflix.
Yeah, Kuroko's basketball.
Have you seen it?
Not really.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. It's weird. Arun made me watch it.
Yeah.
He sat down with me like,
Yeah.
"Tu dekhega." And if you don't watch it, I'm going to do that with you.
Oh, I'll have to watch it.
Watch it. It's really fun to watch, and I think you and the lead character have a lot in common.
Nice.
Both of you have a lot in common. So I'm sorry to cut you there.
Yeah.
But since you mentioned basketball,
Yeah.
this is my first thought. Usually when someone mentions anything, there's a very nice TV show you should watch.
Yeah.
You will like it. Continue.
Yeah, so and I was like, I can't give up on this dream because I've had it since I was a child. And that's when I started working, dude. Day and night I started working. I started reading books and acting, and I started watching films and like foreign films. There was a time I used to watch like 4 films a day in a film festival. Alright, and by the time you come out of the theatre, you don't know what reality is and you don't know what film is.
And you don't know what film plot starts where.
Yeah,
ends where, you don't know what film.
So it's a lot of like your subconscious is taking all of that in. And bro, all that happened, alright. I really worked hard on it. And I started doing theatre. There was a time where I was doing theatre. I've done production for one. I auditioned for every production in Bangalore. And I never got a role, dude. Like one guy though rejected me for like doing background me, they do movement work, no? He's like, you're not fit to do this also.
This is the same Gordon that couldn't do background roles. इसको background में role नहीं मिला था भाई.
Yeah, like there's not even lighting on those people, alright? On the background, they do certain moments. And
ऐसा podcast के बाद इसका नाम बताना जरा मेरे को. मैं मिल के आया उसको.
And
तेरा फोटो दिखाएगा बोले इसको तो मैंने रिजेक्ट किया था ना इधर है.
And the thing was, I was like, if you're not gonna give me a role, I'm gonna do production. I'm like, if you're not gonna give me production, I'll bring chai. But I'm gonna be in this field. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna work, and I've done that. I've brought chai to a lot of actors I know now.
They are actors now.
Yeah, and they've been actors for a really long time. And they used to be actors in a play, and I used to bring them chai. And I've been held also for bringing like the wrong chai or like not enough sugar.
इसमें अदरक का है, चाय है, अदरक नहीं है इसमें.
Yeah, and all that happened. But the validation started coming when I realized that if you do something for a period of time and if you pay a lot of attention and if you are dedicated to it, you will eventually get good at it. So that's, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I mean like I thought you would give me a very good point of validation, but then as you answered that question, I realized it's not one single point of validation. It's a it's multiple things that come
Yeah.
together that led you to where you are.
Yeah,
And-
it's a lot of things, dude. It's a validation from a director you really like,
Yeah.
and from an actor you really like,
Yeah.
or a person you really look up to.
Let's just say, let's just assume that one of the actors that you really like just watched your TV show and said, "Hey, I saw you in the TV show." Even if he doesn't like it,
Hmm.
he doesn't like your role.
Yeah,
The fact that he's seen it
yeah,
would make a difference in your day.
yeah, probably, yeah. Just the fact that people now recognize me, and like people I've watched and like grew up on, and that really makes a lot of difference to
Yeah.
that.
Talking about people recognizing you, how do you make it anywhere without a bodyguard is my question.
Well, I'm not that famous. I don't think I'm that famous.
Are you sure though?
Do not believe my PR. I mean, like, I can't lie with around me. But,
He's not that famous. I'll put up that photo that I took of him recently.
no, it's just that also TV fans are very nice people, though. They're mostly family audience and, like,
Yeah.
kids. And, if you're a mass film star, right? Like, you go out somewhere, like, people will be like,
The scratching on you.
Yeah.
Pulling your t-shirt.
like they'll pluck your hair out, like I have a strand of this guy's hair.
I have snake Gada's hair in my hand.
Yeah,
I will clone this and make my own snake Gada.
yeah, and when a TV star, it's mostly that they want to talk about. They kind of see you as someone who's a part of their household because they've seen you every day. At that time, it's like Snake
Yeah.
comes to my house at 5:30,
Yeah.
and
So there is a different audience that's watching you.
yeah,
Right.
and it's like I'm one of their own, so they wouldn't really like take my jacket off and like.
Yeah, I've seen that love that
Yeah.
you get from a lot of audience.
Yeah.
Like I remember coming to your school
Yeah.
recently, and
Yeah.
I remember like I had to. I usually don't drag people off from their audience, but a couple of times I had to drag this man off because his teachers were like, "We have to go." हमको जाने का है.
Yeah.
So that I agree with. There is a lot of love for you now.
Yeah, no, I also feel that the way you interact with them kind of sets the precedent for how they behave with you.
Yeah.
Like if you are genuine with them, if you are cordial with them, they'll give you like 10x that love.
Yeah.
And if you are like being rude to them and if you are behaving like a big star and start throwing tantrums, like
We'll also throw tantrum.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in the next film or show comes out.
So it's like that, dude. Like one thing I've realized in the last year is you give love, you get loved.
That
And like if you start giving love, no, even the hate will get converted. It'll become love.
what is one of your favorite fan interaction moments? I mean, I know it's a very cheesy question. I understand it's a very cheesy question, but I would like to know what is one of your favorite fan
So I
moments.
had gone to there is this Chunchangiri, it's a temple, right? Adi Chunchangiri, and my dad had a certain manat. It's like if my son becomes a successful actor, I'll bring him here.
Yeah.
And I normally don't go to temples, right?
But because your dad like we
yeah,
have to go.
Yeah, because my dad he had prayed that we had to go to Chunchangiri. I went to Chunchangiri and oh my god, the crowd there, dude. And it's all like family audience, people who watch our shows, and so there was a lot of crowd, and I had to go from one point to point A to point B in the temple. And dad and mom have gone, I'm still there because I'm clicking photos and selfies, and I normally don't like saying no to someone who wants a selfie, alright?
Yeah.
And I've really worked hard to get here, and if someone wants a selfie, I feel like it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel very grateful.
Yeah, like they made you who you are.
Yeah. So and there was this. I think she was this. She was about 50, 55. This lady, and I don't know, dude, she just had tears in her eyes, and she took my hand and kissed it. I'm like, dude, this is like.
Did you kiss her hand back? Why didn't you?
I'm like, what have I done to deserve this? And this is so much love. It's
But then again, I've known you for a decade, like I mentioned earlier.
yeah,
I've seen you struggle. Alright.
yeah, man. And
I've seen the points. I'm not going to bring up all the lows. I'm not going to bring up where you're coming from. For the sake of the podcast, I'm not going to bring it up. Right. But I know where you're coming from. So if you're getting that love, it's coming from somewhere. Right. It's your effort. Like you mentioned in the podcast that you've worked so hard.
and
So it's just a reflection of what you've done.
that is the day I realized it's a lot of responsibility I have now.
Yep.
And a lot of people look up to me, and I shouldn't let them down. That is one of the reasons I don't do these betting wala collabs on Instagram.
Oh no. Please don't.
Because
You do betting wala collabs and I will personally come to your house and I will beat you up.
I'm like, a lot of kids look up to me, a lot of school children look up to me, and if I like one moment I'm asking them to be fit and like have a healthy lifestyle,
Yeah.
another moment I'm like asking them to play betting on some app.
Yeah,
Kind of although they're paying good money, and but I just realized that I shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, so one of the questions that you often get asked is what next, right? I don't want to know what's next. I want to know what you're doing currently. What are you working towards currently? Where is Snehit as a brand going?
See, one thing people have in mind when they're asking a TV actor what he's doing next is what show are you doing next?
Yeah.
Which channel will you be working for? What slot is it gonna come out on? I've been a TV actor for what, 8 months?
Yeah.
It's not a long time for a TV actor. People
Yeah.
do television for years together.
Yeah.
Like I've done it for 9 months, I guess.
इस समय तो बच्चे पैदा होते हैं
Yeah.
अभी तो बच्चे ही पैदा हुए बेटा अभी बहुत टाइम है
Yeah, so right now I'm just working on myself, dude. Like, and I don't want to. Like, there were a lot of offers right after the show, right?
Yeah.
The moment we got a call that the show was gonna end,
Yeah.
like I started getting offers, but it's just that it has to be the right project now. Like in the past 9 months where I've worked on television, I've understood what works, what my audience likes, what my fans like,
So
and what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And so there's a lot of things I've realized. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use all that and do my next project.
very how do I put this? An interesting answer. It is an interesting answer. It is very different from what a lot of people would say because everybody's like, we are doing this next.
Yeah.
No, but it is very clear that sometimes you do it for your audience, sometimes you do it for yourself.
See, also to be very honest, I agreed to do the TV show I did because I had no money left, and I just wanted money, and I was like you'll pay me this, I'll do television, I'll do the show, and that's how it happened. So I do not have that baggage now. Like I do not have that as a motivator now. Like I have to do work for
Like I have to.
yeah.
Like,
So I can pay my bill or
Yeah,
I can sustain myself. So that's given me a lot of freedom and independence. So I kind of have the freedom to pick a show or
yeah.
pick a project.
Do you want to talk about your struggles? Yes, no. Are you comfortable talking about it?
I I think I should talk about it because I want.
Do you want to talk about your struggles?
I mean, I think I should talk about it because like people have seen me now, like they should also know where I've come from. And,
Okay, I've seen you do theatre for 5 years,
yeah.
at least. 5 years.
2016 say 2020,
20,
21.
21.
Yeah.
So about 4 5 years of theatre. And then before that, you did a few projects apart from that as well.
No.
I'm not going to go into projects. I'm not going to go into what theatre projects you were part of, why you were part of them. I want to know what was the struggle there for you. Apart from, okay, let's not talk about money because money is a very obvious factor that comes into when you're talking about struggle, right? What were some of the things that you faced personally?
See, I'll tell you, 2020,
Yeah, rough year for everybody, but
everyone. But I had a great 2019, right? 2019 mein, I had a web series.
yeah,
I had a feature film with a really nice director, someone I really wanted to work with.
yeah,
Someone who had launched a lot of big names in the industry. And 2020 mein, everything is gone. And like my whole world kind of came crashing down, right? And 2021 was also super tough. Like it was the brink, bro. Like I was this close to like giving up on acting, and like at home, no, my mom was like you got to do something else, man. It's not working out. And it really breaks my heart that you worked so hard and
it's not.
yeah, it's not, and maybe it's not meant to be. It's you know what they say, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not.
My mom still says that to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a star anyway. मैं कुछ नहीं कर रहा है अभी. No, but seriously, no, I get that. I understand that
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah, and I had spent 3 years of
Building.
my prime youth on projects that didn't take off.
Yeah,
And I used to get really attached to projects. And
I know.
like I used to like put my heart and soul into it, and like I had seen them like crumble in front of my eyes. Like I had seen them like
I think I have a very good example of how you get attached to projects.
yeah,
Remember reading Kafka on the Shore?
yeah,
And then that story that we had written right after
yeah,
that. I remember how attached you got to it.
Yeah.
I mean, even now I'm attached to that story, and I would love to shoot that.
yeah,
But it's a matter of when we can do it and how we can do it.
yeah.
It'll happen. I can promise you it'll happen.
Yeah, so what had happened was I had really worked on myself as an actor. I had groomed myself, and some director would come and say, "Sneeth, I'll launch you and make you a star." All right, and I would work on that project for a year, and it would just crumble.
Fall flat.
Yeah, and then some other director would come and
Feed you the same line basically.
yeah, and
I'll launch you, I'll make you a big star.
yeah, and I'm not blaming them. I have great respect for them, and it's just that my time wasn't right. That time wasn't right, and
Yeah.
and it was a really dark time for me, 2021,
Yeah.
and like I had lost on a lot of I had assignments because I had grown a beard, because I had given my everything to this film, and it was really tricky. And in the Dark Knight, there is this quote that the night is darkest just before the dawn.
Yeah.
And I swear, I didn't want to do television, right? And a lot of people.
I know. I've known you for long enough to know that. Okay, so people who don't know Snehit long enough, I've known Snehit so long that he's always wanted to be a movie star and not a TV star. Yet, in some cruel irony of life, he's a bigger TV star than he's a movie star.
Yeah.
Good joke. Love that joke, huh?
Yeah, so it says the night is darkest just before the dawn. And the day when I went to audition for the show I did, I didn't even know what it was for. I mean, I was so detached from everything. I was like,
Did the director tell you, Sneh, I'm going to launch you, I'm going to make you a big
nah,
star?
nah. I didn't say anything, dude. He's like, we'll probably call you back. I don't know if we're gonna call you back. Like, let's see.
तुम्हें role मिलेगा? We'll see.
We'll see. Like,
You might get the role, you might not get the role. Don't feel bad.
yeah, and that's how detached I was. And I was that detached because I was attached to a lot of projects before.
Yeah.
And that had given me nothing but heartbreak. And I don't think we should get attached to projects like that when you're an actor, because it will lead to a lot of hardship. And that's how it happened. The last year I've had was the universe just thanking me. It's like, dude, you worked so hard.
Yeah.
Take this.
Take
Like,
it and go.
yeah, and it was a lot of vindication also. So I'm about 26 now,
Yeah.
and what happens is everyone around you.
शादी कब कर रहे?
Yeah, so they're in good jobs, they're buying car, they're buying a house and everything.
They're getting married, having babies.
Yeah, and you are still doing theatre and worrying about 100 rupees and 150 bucks and parking ka paisa. And
Like, नाश्ता किधर करेगा मैं?
yeah, so when you go to like a wedding of a friend, of a school friend or a college friend, a lot of people are gonna ask you, and what are you doing? Like, maybe it's not meant to be. Like, you tried this for a long time, and
Yeah, but then at some point you knew inside you personally. I knew personally that 9 to 5 तो मेरे से नहीं होने वाला है. बहुत कोशिश किया, नहीं होएगा. मैं try भी नहीं करेगा अभी. As a person, you know that a job, a stable job with a stable income is something that is not going to work for you. Right?
stable income probably.
Stable income, yes. I think everybody wants.
I can get used to a stable income.
We all can. We all would like a stable income at some point.
But television is that, dude. It is stability. It is work every day, and you know you're gonna get a paycheck by the end of it.
Yeah, like,
so
TV is what films are not. Like, TV is your stable income.
Yeah.
It's your 9 to 5 job. You still get to be a star.
yeah.
Only trade-off is you play this character for years.
There's a downside to that, dude. There's a major downside to it. Because
They recognize you as that character.
yeah, a lot of people like you for
That character.
that character, and when that character is doing questionable things, or
Yeah, they're like, no.
no, and they get really attached to it. And so there's a downside to that also. Bro, one thing I've realized, doesn't matter how good your life is going on, right? Like, there's always something bothering you. Like, even if you're at the top of your game, and like everything, like people think you have a great life, like everything is going well, but there is something that is always like you want to do this better. Like, if that thing is better, like you will probably, I don't know, you're striving for something else.
Yeah.
And I feel that strive should be there for you to be better, but that is one constant.
Say last question. I mean, we've had a decent conversation, so last question. 5 years ago, yeah, I asked you this question. I'm going to ask you this question again. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And 5 years ago, I asked you this question. I remember you telling me I'm going to be a star. 5 years later, you are a star. So I'm going to say pretty confidently, you answered that question very well with your words and your actions. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember answering that question?
Yeah, it was in the same house.
Yeah. Do you remember answering that question? Yeah. You're going to be a star. So 5 years ago, I asked you this question. You said you're going to be a star. 5 years later, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Just remember, I'm going to tell you this very honestly. You're manifesting your future. So 5 years ago, you said you're going to be a star. You are a star. 5 years later, where do you see yourself? I know you're still going to be an actor. Don't get me wrong. He's still going to be an actor. He's still going to be a very big star. It's just that
I want to be at the top of my game.